Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you are all doing well. Napoli versus Juventus, that's tomorrow, -1. Day -1, a crucial game, an important game. But today, instead of going through all the Italian and international papers, to tell you the obvious, what you already know. Half of the team will not be able to play versus Napoli. We are speaking about the South Americans, Argentina, Dybala, and then we have Cuadrado, we have Danilo, we have Alexandro, we have Bentancur, and on top of that, even Federico Chiesa. Out of precaution, we will not risk him. Instead of telling you how important it is because we have only 1 point out of 6 in that start of Serie A, I will not do that. Today I want to really thank Guido Vaciago, journalist of Tuttosport, that was really lucky. And he did an amazing job on Tuttosport with a 4-page interview because he had the luck to interview Federico Cherubini. Cherubini, you know him, you heard his name so many times on the channel this summer when he was promoted to that new role. He was super open, he was super transparent in explaining the new Juventus, the project and the post-Ronaldo that we were able to anticipate with 1 year. I want to do that really with you because it's a long one, so take your time, listen. Then, if you are happy or not with the project, this is it. But at least we have the truth, the real words of Juventus for the first time about what will Juventus become. Will it still be an elite club or not? Is it a transitional moment? Yes or not? Let's see what he will say. But first of all, maximum of like for this video where you will be able to hear about Cristiano Ronaldo, how he left, about Locatelli, why it took so long to have him, about the memes about Cherubini because Cherubini said, I knew. And I saw all the memes. You will see his reaction, really funny. We speak about Keane, about Allegri and the 4 years project. Maximum of likes, subscribe to the video, and we start with that new project. A new project that will be focused on youngsters. Youngsters, but not under 23 players today yet. We are not going into a crazy rejuvenation, but we continue with rejuvenation. We are looking, and Juventus will look for young players, preferably Italian. That doesn't mean that they have to be always Italian, but preferably Italian, but already with some international experience. We are speaking about national team. Who are the best perfect examples of that new way of winning? It is Locatelli, it is Moise Kean. We will go back to these players, but these are the new players that you can expect at Juventus in the coming years. Young players, motivated players that really want to fight for Juventus, for the shirt. This is actually the mind, the idea of Juventus, what they want to do with us in the future. It will not be an Ajax style. Pay attention. Ajax is a great club. They buy or they grow up young unknown players. They develop them, and from the moment they are developed, they will sell them. This is not the project of Juventus. Juventus wants to buy already some players that are already been known with already some great potential, that they need that last step to reach the full potential, and that's why Allegri is there. So this is the new project. What are the risks? That you are lacking a bit of experience? Probably yes. Cherubini is saying probably yes, but the DNA of Juventus, that seriousness, that working rate, all these kind of values will have to compensate that experience. Working on cohesion of the group, this is what we want to do. With 1 year anticipation, because the project was actually having a kickoff next year after the contract of Cristiano Ronaldo, we were able to kick off that project already this year. What about the actual youngers? You will probably tell to Cherubini. Guido Vaciago asked in the question, what about the ones that we already have? And he said, hopefully in the future we will not have to loan out these players because they will be ready. I already know some potential players that will really soon be ready to integrate a first team, and not anymore just to sit on the bench, but also to rotate with the starters. Great things, because he, more than everyone, knows the youngster because he was the one that started the under-23 project. What about the near future mercato? Will we have some Pogbas, some great buying and signings? Cherubini said, always, but probably not these kind of names. We are looking for opportunities always, absolutely, but we know already what we can spend. The money that we can spend already next season, we already know it. So don't expect these big names like a Haaland, for example. Not, don't expect that. Probably other players like Vlahovic. This is an example I have made. Cherubini never mentioned the name, but young players with great potential, but that didn't reach the full step yet. About Haaland, he said it's a big regret of us because in the past we didn't have the same structure of Youth that we have today. Probably would have sent him on loan to a lot of teams. He said no, it's a big regret, but in the future probably now a Haaland will be really extremely difficult to sign. We will go and continue to look for young, preferably Italian players with great potential. What about Caio Giorgia? Because that was an example of a player that we signed from 19 years old. He has really big professionalism, a really enthusiasm player that is really focused on football a lot, but he needs time. And he will find that time being actually the one that will replace Morata. We will give him that time, something that we were not able to do at the time with Holland, unfortunately, because we were focusing on players that were ready today. Caio Giorgia is not ready today, but he will have the opportunity to do that. What about Itaharen, the one that we loaned out? He said there were so many midfielders in our team that probably would not have had the chance to play and to show his value. That's why we loaned out to Sampdoria 1 year, and let's see what will happen next year. What about Locatelli? The transactions, actually the negotiation for Locatelli took really long. Why? Because everyone was really transparent. There was nothing to hide. It was not something that was made in secret like other transactions or other negotiations in the past where nobody knows nothing about and then you believe that in 1 week it's a done deal. No, this time since the beginning everything was open and transparent. That's why it looks really long, but also because today, in today's football, in today's Juventus finance, every million counts. And for Juventus, but also for Sassuolo. And that's why there were so many meetings. What about the meetings? You know, because we are calling him, or you were calling him, meet next week, man. Meeting man, and all these kind of things that he loved to lunch, to have some dinners and so on and so on. Sometimes he was even called the Cobra. Why? Because slowly but surely he was actually taking his target. He said, I saw all of these memes online and actually they made me smile. I love that because the guy, he can take a joke really nice from Federico Cherubini, but he said, I don't care. There is no rule that is saying today that we have to do a done deal in 2 meetings. I prefer to wait and to do another meeting until I have what I really wanted. I don't want to anticipate and going too fast. Speaking about Cristiano Ronaldo, guys, I know that you were waiting for that moment. We couldn't keep him. We couldn't. Impossible. Whatever you want to do, you couldn't, because at a certain moment he was really clear. He was really clear saying, I don't want to stay anymore. And once a player is telling you that, there is nothing that you can do about it. Keane is not his replacement. Pay attention, but it is already the first step towards that new Juventus. A Juventus of young Italian players. Not only Italian, but preferably that has some international experience already. But pay attention, he will not be the replacement of Cristiano Ronaldo, because Cristiano Ronaldo, you can't replace a guy like Cristiano Ronaldo. But what about Cristiano Ronaldo leaving on the 27th of August? He said we knew that Jorge Mendes, his agent, was looking for another team, but we always knew from them that there were no opportunities. Nobody showed us actually that they wanted to buy Cristiano Ronaldo. There was no option. He even said clearly to Juventus the week before Udinese that he wanted to stay, that he had to stay, that he would stay. And at the end, the last week on the 27th, he was gone to Manchester United. Guys, it is what it is. We have to accept it. And Cherubini said, instead of going to look for the replacement of Ronaldo, that is impossible. We already anticipated our development plan with 1 year anticipation. Keane is not a bad boy. He has an etiquette. Of course, he has a tag on his name, we know, but he's not the bad boy, and he will come more motivated than ever after being excluded from the Italian national team for Euro 2020. He's really believing in him, and that's really beautiful. He will show us beautiful things. That's what he said. Allegri, what about Allegri? A long contract to show actually stability. Stability in the team, that's really important. 4-year contract for a coach. Past decision, what about Sarri? What about the fact that we stopped with Allegri? What about Pirlo? He said at the moment where we took this decision, they were looking really correct. If we are looking back today, probably they were not. So he's also saying the truth and what we are all thinking. Probably they were not the correct decision. It is what it is. But Allegri has a winning DNA. He knows what it is to win, and that's also why he's there. He's not a trainer that doesn't want to work with young players. Absolutely not. But he needs also the correct players, and he will develop them. What about Rugani and De Sciglio that are mocked and that all the people want out of our team? He's saying, guys, we already had teams of 24, 25 players with only superstars, but we also had the teams of 25, 26 players with some players that were not superstars, like a Padoin, like a Sturaro, but that were extremely important for the cohesion of the group, for the locker room. Players that know that they are not starters, but super important for the team atmosphere. They know that if they have to work with professionalism, be ready, be serious, they are, but they are not complaining that much. They are ready and showing exemplarity every week. And that's why he said we respect players like Rugani and De Sciglio that probably are not starters, but are really respecting the shirt. Dybala, confident about his contract, but again, if we need to do one more meeting, we will do one more meeting. If we will have to do 2, 3, 4 meetings, we will have to do it. We take our time. What about Donnarumma? He said we didn't want to make the same mistake as Paris Saint-Germain. Having 2 great goalkeepers, 2 with huge salaries, competing for a number 1 spot. We didn't want to make that mistake, especially in today's football. This is actually, guys, what Cherubini said. 4 pages, of course. I went really fast. You will read a lot of things on Twitter, on social media about that article. I tried to respect what he said as much. Then you like the new project, you don't like it, you think that we will suffer, you think that we will be an elite club, whatever. This is your opinion, but at least we know clearly what we have to expect of Juventus. A winning Juventus, or at least a Juventus that will try to win in a different way. The era Cristiano Ronaldo is over. We will try to focus on young potential players today, with tomorrow the possibility to have also homegrown players like a Fagioli, like a Ranocchia, like a Mattias Sule. These players, and we will be there for opportunities of mercato, but not Cristiano Ronaldo types anymore, not Paul Pogba anymore. Forget about these kind of things. Guys, I'm super happy that I was able to read that article. I will share it. I will save that article because I want to read it more times, and during the season we will continue to talk about these objectives. Grazie for the likes, grazie for listening to me. Thank you, Forza Juve.